This is Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Lamed Daled, according to the Oz V'Hoder Art Scroll pagination, which corresponds to the Daf Chav Gimel Amud Aleph in the Vilna edition. And yesterday I attributed this Gemara to the Baalvi and Ksubas, that's where it's Ches and Beis, but here it is in the Yerushalmi. Forgot about it. Tanya, the circle to Shosim Mereis Ovel, you'll be able to drink 10 cups of wine in the house of Ovel. Shnayim Lifnei HaMazon, 2 before the meal, Chamisha Schel Mazon, 5 within the meal, Shlosh Achar Mazon, 3 after the meal. Eilu Shlosha Achar Mazon, those 3 after the meal, Echad Lebirkas HaMazon, Vechad L'Gemilas Chasodim. One of them is for the honor of the Birkas HaMazon. The other is the honor of the Gemilas Chesed done to Avelim, Chad L'Tanchumi Avelim. One for the honor of the consolation of Avelim. Shemesra and Shimon Gamliel and Shimon Gamliel passed away. Otzivu O Olem O Shlosha. They added 3 more. Echad L'Chad Zayin Knesses, one in honor of the Zayin Knesses was the one of the head officials. Echad Rosh Knesses, and the Rosh Knesses was having the second official. Baras Gamliel, and one by Gamliel. I think it's at 14 kosos yesterday, but here it's 13 kosos. For the one from Gamliel is the Gemara Ksubas explains because he did not have himself buried in expensive shrouds, which would put the poor people to shame, and himself buried in a very simple shroud, and that was everybody was happy that it reduced the cost of funerals. The Rashi says Chazon HaKnesses is the Shamish, who calls the people to do a mitzvah, and the Rosh HaKnesses is the Dayan. So the way this Rosh HaKnesses is a higher level than Chazan HaKnesses. Okay, but as in May, continuing on. Came a choice of Basin Shul Mishtakrin, since once Basin said that they were getting drunk in the house of Elim. The whole Mishtakrin got drunker and drunker. Gazu Aleim, they decreed out with this cups of wine, and they restored it to its place. Now, restored it to its place sounds like they restored it to being 10 cups instead of 13 cups, but it probably means no, which is actually what the rest says. But I believe, according to the Bavli, it actually means that they eliminated the minhag altogether. No cups. Okay, considering going on. Kohen Maushid Malachav Rabu. Can a Kohen go be matam himself in honor of his Rebbe who just deceased? Rabbi Yana Zira Dama Chamui. Rabbi Yana the younger, his father-in-law died. Who have a Chamui, who have a Rabbi. Now his father-in-law is also his Rebbe. Shal Rabbi Yossi. He asked Rabbi Yossi, can I go to the Vayav? Osole. And he says, no, you're not allowed to. Shambri Acha, Rabbi Acha, Ramari Tamil Tamirav. His Tamidim should become Tamei. So even though they're Kohanim, they should become Tamei in order to go to his Levaya. Rabbi Yossi, Nidmu Lo Tamirav, Rabbi Yossi, his students, and then his students were Kohanim, became Tamei of his Levaya. Nevertheless, Ochlu Basim Shasu Yain. They ate meat and drank wine. Amalon said to them, but said Raymond said to him, there's a paradox. One of these things you're doing wrong. One of these things you can't escape from, whichever one. And this harks back to my explanation yesterday, that when Rabbi Zira told, I think it was Rabbi Zira, who told us to meet him, according to my pshat, don't be Avelim today for me and tomorrow make simchas for me. No, don't do that. It's similar. Saying you're doing contradictory behavior. Im Avelim Hatem, Lo Machaltem Basar, if you're Avelim, why do you eat meat? Why do you say, why do you drink wine? If you're not Avelim, Lo Madit Mesim, why did you become Tamei? What head did you have? So the truth is that I guess it could have answered that we're not owning it, so we can't eat meat and wine. Technically speaking, it's only owners now to eat meat and wine, and therefore the taina seems not to be a valid taina. But like I said, evidently, and although the Rashi really does say that the issue was before the Gvura, but they were owning him, but that's not true. They're not owning him. We said it before. So therefore, it seems that the issue is, again, not a halachic issue, but tactically the sasri in terms of your emotional stability and your emotional conduct in this matter. Next Gemara. Can a Kohen become Tamei if for the honor of Torah? What the case is, we shall see momentarily. Rabbi Yossi Masne. Yossi was sitting and teaching. He was a Kohen, remember? Misa. A mace was brought into the building. Madanofik lay lo mar leklum. Whoever left, Rabbi Yossi said nothing to him. Mandiyossi, anybody who remained, lo mar leklum, he didn't say anything to Rabbi Yossi is not a Kohen. Before my mistake. Yossi, Talmid, it was Talmid or Kohanim became Talmid for him. Sorry. So Yossi had Kohanim or Talmidim. And those questions to meet him. So some left when the mace entered the building, some didn't leave. So he didn't say anything to either one of them. So evidently, the jury is still out. Whether you have to go out, if you're in the middle of learning Torah, if you have to leave when a mace is brought under the same OL and such like, or not. Rabbi Nechumia Brei Rabbi Chia Bar Abba Omar Abba. Rabbi Nechumia Brei Rabbi Chia Bar Abba Omar said, Abba, my father, lo have over close kafta the Kesarim. He would not go underneath the domes in Kesarim, because that dome also was an oil over a mace. And even though he was going to learn Torah, he would still not go under that dome, because he was Kohen, and he was not allowed to be Matame Mason, even to learn Torah. Rabbi Ami, Rabbi Chizkiah, Rabbi Kohen, Rabbi Yaakov Baracha, Hoyim Matayim Bin Platiusa Litzbar. They were in the platios, the plazas of Tzipori. He killed the kippah. They got to a dome. Pirish Rabbi Kohen. Seems like he was Kohen. Rabbi Kohen separated himself from them. He got a Makam Torah when they got to the place which is Torah after the dome. The Chazal, he came back to be with them. Arnold said to them, B'ma askin. What were you dealing with? What were you learning when I was gone? I was having to leave. Fill me in. Don't tell him anything. In Mishum, the boyish lay, but we don't know why he said not tell him anything. In Mishum, the boyish lay, the Pirish, because it was they were upset that he separated himself from time himself even for Talmud Torah. The parish right to Shemitami the Talmud Torah because he shouldn't be Talmud Torah. Why did he leave them? Le'adin. We don't know if that's the reason why. For in Mishum to have a Tyson, or because maybe he was a Tyson, which evidently is a stubborn, as Moshe says, a stubborn person and a debating person. Nothing to do with the mace. He's too contrary, so therefore don't tell him that. But we don't know what the reason why he said not to tell him. Even though Chazar goes there 2 months, a Kohen can go out for monetary matter, adjudicate monetary matter, and testify in a capital crime, and to sanctify the new moon, and to make a leap year, and to save a land from a non-Jew. Litor, which is Yotze Baraleh. In other words, if the name Moshe says it's like for itur. In other words, there's if he has to go and Moshe says the language of irur, he has to go and complain in order to try and get the land back. He can go out even for that person, for that reason. So the main Moshe again says that itur is a shtar irur, which is the basis for his case, which he wants to make when he gets to Chutz La'aretz. Yeah. Rabbi Yossi Omer, I feel Yeshlo Meichel Limod Torah. Even has a place in Torah in Eretz Yisrael, Yitmai can become Tamei Gor Chutz. Shlo we call Adam Zoch Limod. Person has always learned from every Rebbe. Yes, if his Rebbe's in Chutz La'aretz, ideal Rebbe for him, he's allowed to go. Amar it said Al Yosef HaKohen Shemetame V'Yotze Acharab L'Tzidon, that he was Matame himself and he followed his Rebbe to Tzidon, which is the Chutz La'aretz. Av Amar Ayitze Kon Chutz La'aretz Eken Hivtichu Lo Isha. But they said, they have said, others say that to learn Torah you don't leave Eretz Yisrael. The only reason to leave Eretz Yisrael is to get married. But only if they promised you wife, they're not to go dating. If they promise you a specific wife, then you can go. Mashid Makoyin Nasis Kapayin, can a Kohen become Tamei in order to Duchan? Makbila Chud Rabbi Abba Bar Kohen, Makbila was the name. His brother Abi Bar Kohen, Amar Kum Rabbi Yossi, he said in front of Rabbi Yossi, Shem Rabbi Acha, name Rabbi Acha, the time Kohen Chilas Nasis Kapayin, but Kohen may become Tamei in order to go and Duchan. So by the way, what I said before about he knows the name of says Elikei Tichlo Yodeh Bevadai Shias Yisrael. He knows for sure he's going to marry her. So Sias Kapayim, the Moshe gives the case as if there's a Tumen Shul, does he go to stay there and allowed to stay in Shul in order to Duchan? So and Rabbi said yes. Shama Rabbi Acha Mar Rabbi Acha heard this. Rabbi Acha the brother is his brother. No, somebody else. So Rabbi Acha heard this, and he said, "Umar, on a long recently, I did not say anything of the sort." Then he started thinking about it, and he came back and said, "Oh, perhaps lo shamamini, maybe he didn't hear from me. Elakayim Rabbi Yehuda bar Pazi, b'shem Rabbi Lazar, rather like Rabbi Yehuda bar Pazi, named Rabbi Lazar, koken shomei beis haknesses. Any coin standing in shul, ve'eno knows his kaplan does not duchen over ba'aseh. He violates the mitzvah say, of course, for Bnei Yisrael. But Sovar Meimar and what was his name again? Magbila thought, extrapolated with this. Shemitzvah say the mitzvah say the mitzvah say of duchening is duchening mitzvah say of being b'tamim l'mesim. So he says, but that's not true. Arnolam Risvei klum. I didn't say anything of the sort to him. I seen bring him here, and I will give him malchus. Okay, tough stuff. So so obviously it was considered to be a very big mistake. So I say is only I say dochalos. I say if it's idna, it's the same time as sometimes he's going to be in the time of the mason before he starts duchening. So that's not going to work because not at the same time. Rabbi Yavo was sitting and darshaning in the base knesset, the shul, which was the large shul. In Kesarim, that's a Charedim's pshat. Moshe says Sha'ir. Not sure I got that, but it's in the opening of the city. Now, this case, this very basic issue about Yerushalmi. There are two Kesarins. There's Caesarea, which is near the coast. There's Katzrin, which is near Tveria and the Golan. And Kesar and Yerushalmi can be either one of them. So, most of the time, I believe it's one in the Galil. And that actually is where Rabbi Avo's base medrash says. I think there was actually a shul that they found Katzrin, which a ruin they found Katzrin with the inscription that this is the base medrash Rabbi Abun, who was Rabbi Avo. So this is not that it makes that much of a difference, but you're sitting at Katzrin, not that Katzrin. Vavatam Misa, there was a dead body there. Asked us in Andalusia's Kapayim, this is the time the Dugan came out. They didn't ask him what they should do. The time came to eat, and then they also had to go back and pass there. They asked. Amalei said, let's see where your priorities are. Before the issue of the Nasi's Kapayim, he didn't ask me. Right? You're asking me whether you can go eat. Now, it's not necessarily they have to go through the Chutz Beis HaKnesses. But the name of the I guess that's some other way to go, as we shall see momentarily. But it's interesting. The Charedim says, "Eat at midday." But then lo tziyum they have to take out the dead body. But shul they ask him, "Mutar them? Let's say can they go out of the shul's opening? Mishum asid ameis. Let's say it's because the mason is going to go out there. Maybe it's very tummy. Farmer Leon said before the asid coin. Let's say it's that shul to a mason. The coin's not leave until they take the dead body out. But love that they thought maybe it's mutter. Mishum the Amar says that Shalei B'Tain is somebody who's in the state of fasting. And he can't restrain himself. He can't tolerate his tinus. It's called a sinner. Like Rosh Chodesh Hava, maybe it's Rosh Chodesh, the mitzvah Harabos B'Suda, so to do a lot of Suda, so therefore they ask the question. But once he rebuked them, came the Shaman Lekain, have a Kol Chad V'Chad, Shava Garmei V'Arak. Everybody peeled himself away and fled. So the Charedim says they fled back to their learning. Nishma because the limud means bayesh, and when they're embarrassed and they went back to learning. So the yeah, Dei Moshe says that each one ran away from the shul in order to go eat. So interesting. According to Haredim, they ran back to learning. According to the Dei Moshe, they ran out to eat. And evidently there was a different door by which they could run out, perhaps less convenient. And now we got to the bottom of Lamed Aleph Beis, precisely. So we'll stop here for today.